so comes the night when Gerald Ford gives his acceptance speech, which by all regards was the best speech of Gerald Ford's life. Gerald Ford was not known as a good public speaker. He was a politician in the Washington insider sense. He was a negotiator. He gave and took. He was not an inspirational leader. And plus, you know, in the man's defense, he wasn't prepared to be president in August 1974, but he had to be because of Richard Nixon, because of Nixon's resignation, and because before that, Spiro Agnew's resignation. But he gives it what is widely seen as a good speech. But the Republican Party is still divided because half the delegates at the Kemper Arena in Kansas City are Reagan supporters, and the animosity between the two camps is palpable. You can just feel it. They just can't stand each other, the Reaganites and the Ford people. And Ford knows that he needs to unify the party if he's going to have a chance against Jimmy Carter in the fall. At that point in August 1976, Gerald Ford is running in all the national polls 30% behind former Governor Jimmy Carter. It's 60 to 30. And so he's got to unify the party first before he can have a chance. So he makes this gesture at the last minute after he finishes his speech for Reagan to come down and address the hall. Now, what I reported in Reagan's Revolution, which wasn't really discussed at the time, was it was kind of a setup. Because the Ford people thought, I mean, they still bought in the idea that Reagan was an empty suit. He without a teleprompter, his notes, he couldn't deliver a good speech. He was just an actor. That was the phrase you always heard about Reagan in the 60s and 70s. Well, he's just an actor. Well, he's just an actor. Yes, Barry Goldwater. Well, he's just an actor. And so it was a setup. So Reagan, but they invite Reagan to come down. Now, 17,000 people are applauding for you to come down from your skybox, come down to the podium and address the convention. Reagan, initially waves off Ford, shakes his head no, and then he relents and goes down. And as he's walking to the stage through the catacombs of the arena, Mike Deaver, who was one of his aides at the time, says, "Governor, what are you going to say?" Or I turned it around. He turned to Mike and he says, "What should I say?" And Mike says, "Governor, you'll think of something." And Reagan proceeds, and we'll see the whole speech tomorrow night, 7.5 minutes. One of the most remarkable impromptu speeches in the history of American politics, and certainly the most impromptu speech in the history of Reagan's political career. It is, people are watching it, they're crying. One of the Reagan organizers, Kenny Kling, was standing on the floor next to a woman who was from Florida. He said she was a big-time Ford supporter, and as Reagan's speaking, she exclaims, "Oh my God, we've nominated the wrong man."